Hey sluts, I'm Aubrey, an Aquarius sun, Scorpio moon, Taurus rising.
I'm Danny, a Sag sun, Leo moon, Libra rising.
And
we're your Astro Sluts. Welcome back.
We have a theme song today. Today we're talking all about Aquarius.
Yay! We made it. We're so close to the end, you guys.
I know. Thank you for joining us. Pisces next week. And go back and listen to all the other episodes if you haven't already. To be an astrological expert, or at least have like a great foundation of like what each sign's essence vibe is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're in for a treat today because we have an Aquarius expert in the room with us.
We sure do.
So,
and we're going to call one later.
Yeah.
To get a little case study interview. See if the other Aquariuses are like me as well. Because, you know, we're not trying to put us all... Right. I can't carry the weight of every Aquarius.
You can never put an Aquarius in a box, exactly. You know?
The dates of Aquarius season every year are about January 20th to February 18th. It might change a little bit. So if you were born between those days, you're an Aquarius, baby. The symbol is the water bearer, which I feel like people always think Aquarius is a water sign. And like, I don't even think that like the water bearer is like something anyone knows. But it's always funny to me that just like instinctually people
just
think,
the aqua of it.
I guess. The way that didn't cross my mind. Yeah, I don't think of that as being like water.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's a bit aquatic, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But I just always think it's funny because water signs are like so emotional and in tune with their feelings, and Aquariuses can be like very aloof and emotionless. Like we'll get into, they're an air sign, like it's very intellectual and logical. I do sort of think of as this like symbol of someone carrying a jug of water. Like I find it very easy to like hold other people's emotions. Like I very much care about how other people are doing, but like I'm not necessarily gonna be that emotional about it.
I was looking into it too, and I think like water, obviously like water is like life, so the idea of like a water bearer is like to bring water to people or land or whatever. But I think a lot of astrologers too look at it as like knowledge and like thought. So like pouring, thought onto people and sharing ideas and like bringing ideas is also a way to like grow and cultivate life. So it's definitely like, it's symbolic.
Totally.
Like, yes, it's literally the symbol, but it is symbolic. It's not like, water as in the emotional kind of water signs. It's like bringing life and bringing thought and bringing ideas, helping community kind of thing.
While Aquariuses are like, we'll get to it in a little bit as to why, but like very free spirited, like there is like this stubbornness to them as well. I think this is why sometimes some Aquariuses feel like they're doing stuff to be different just because.
Yeah, totally.
But I think sometimes Aquariuses are just like quirky to be quirky in a way that doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes it is just that like fixedness of being like, well, I can't be like everyone else. So if everyone's doing it this way, then I just can't do it that way, even though if that's like maybe the better way.
No, I always think we had a coworker, and I'm sorry, my water just slid on the table.
Yeah, like I know what you're talking about. That's so scary.
Okay. I thought it was going to fly right off the edge. But like she is someone who I wouldn't think you would typically think Aquarius, because not like outwardly quirky or different appearance wise or anything, but like I just remember her telling a story one time, not in relation to her being an Aquarius at all, about how she refused to have like sandwiches for her lunch as a kid. Yes. Like her mom would always have to pack her like pasta or like different like wacky things, because like she would not eat a sandwich because like that just like, you know, like she wouldn't have like the normal lunch. And like I don't even think it was to be different, but just that like innate like, no, I need cheese and crackers, but don't call it a sandwich, or like, you know what I mean? Like I do think it does those kind of just like stubbornness, like it can show up in many different ways. And I think like for some people it might be like way more obvious, and for other people it's just like those little quirks.
Aquarius is very quirky. The quirkiest girls out there. Aquarius has a modern planetary ruler and a traditional planetary ruler that are different. Not all signs have multiple rulers, but in traditional astrology, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn along with Capricorn. And if you listen to our Capricorn episode last week, Capricorn is very like rule oriented, very structured, very like authoritative, like very law and order vibes, which is like super not Aquarius. But I think the difference is like Capricorn is governed by what like a pre-existing system has told them works, and Aquarius is like very much like governed, but it's by like what they think is right.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's also the idea of like pushing boundaries and constructs a little bit to like be like, no, this is actually like what serves people, or like this is a better way of doing things, or like wanting that better kind of like future. It's like, it's like structural, but like, in its own way, I guess. Yeah,
I think you've said on the podcast before too, it's very like you have to learn the system to break down the system.
Yes, totally. That's very Aquarius.
Like conquer it from the inside out feels very like Aqua Saturnian.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've had like at my job, like when people come in that are like supposed to be leaders, I like never respect if people come in and they're like, well, I know how to do things the best way. So it's my first day, but starting today, we do things my way. I'm like, babe, that's not how
the way
you do things. That's like not being a good leader. Like I really believe that a good leader is going to like come into a space where there is a group in which they are supposed to lead, and they are going to like get to know everyone as individuals. They're going to see how everything is functioning already and like identify what's not working, and then implement something that they've like observed like literally will help. And that's just like I've been like laughing. That's like so Aquarius, like Saturn of me. I'm like, no, you need to learn what's going on already in order to like make things better for everyone.
I literally wrote like, I'll get into the second half of this, but I put like Saturn is like almost like trying to get into change policy. Like it gives like you want to like be go to law school, but to be like a public defender, or to try to like make change, or be like someone who's maybe into politics to like change policy, or that kind of way of like pushing, where like we'll talk about modern rulership. I think it's just same goal, but different methods.
So the modern ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, which it's literally like the modern ruler, because when astrology was first like developed, they didn't have like the technology to know about the outer planets. So which I always think is just like interesting. Like Uranus was not on anybody's radar. So until it was on people's radars, then they were like, oh, this is so Aquarius. But because Uranus is literally the planet that's like on its side, right? Which just that symbolism in alone is like so Aquarius. It's the planet of like rebellion. It's very unexpected, innovative, like very future forward. It's giving Aquarius is very like never been done before.
Totally. Yeah. that unexpected energy. It could be like a little radical. But I do think that's where it's like Uranus making change is maybe a little more like protest, like kind of like more unexpected, bigger gestures. It's like through like community activism. It's not through the way of like lawmaking or rules. It's like through like different channels. But again, it's like all like they work together. It's like the same goal. It's just like kind of like thinking about how it does it, I guess, the methods.
Yeah. Uranus is also connected to like technology, like technological advancements. I want to say like science developments as well. So it is just very like, it's just very like futuristic.
Yeah, totally.
And also like queerness is very Uranus, and that being like just the definition of like being other, like not just going with the norm.
Yeah. Aquarius rules the 11th house, which is all about community, friendships, really the people around you. I feel like it's a pretty like common thing. I mean, we say it obviously, but I do think other people agree. It's like the bestie of the zodiac. Like Aquarius is like the person you go to. It's like the friend, the sign of friends kind of thing. And I think it does just come from that like community focus, but like in that like wanting what's best for people, wanting to understand people, seeing everyone as an individual but in a collective way kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely.
It's also like okay, first of all, I think this house rulership is like where Aquarius gets that like humanitarian stereotype, which I almost just feel like humanitarian is kind of like a dated term.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think definitely like activism, like social change is very much associated with Aquarius. Which I don't know, I think is sometimes true, but I definitely don't feel like every Aquarius is like super involved in like justice in that kind of way. This house can also just manifest as like as friends. The 11th house has also been known in astrology as like the house of good fortune. So some people say it rules like wishes or good luck, which I'm genuinely not sure why.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But it's like, because
it feels like Jupiter, so
yeah,
I'm
like
not sure.
Is, but I'm not sure where the Jupiter connection is. But yeah, that's also like, I mean, for me, I like that. It makes sense to me that like you would find good luck in your community. Because like I have found like particularly in the last like year or so, like I am so into community right now, and like building a village around me. Like I'm really like, I'm obsessed with knowing everyone in Chicago right now. I like really try to like cultivate as many like close connections. I am just like very extroverted anyway, but I really have found like I've felt very aligned since I have like really started building a community.
Yeah. That's so nice.
Yeah. Aquarius body part rulership is the ankles, shins, calves, and circulatory system. You have any comments about that?
Not really. When I was looking it up, it was kind of like it's what connects you to like connects the ground to like the thoughts and whatever, and I was kind of like, all right, like
I saw that. I was like, well, that doesn't really resonate.
That doesn't really resonate. I know, that's what I thought too. I was like, okay, like I kind of see what you mean, but like, yeah.
Circulatory system does feel very water bearer-esque. It's like what is getting like
and
nutrients everywhere.
There's a couple different like myths for Aquarius, I mean, as with every sign, but one is like there was a young Greek boy who was taken to be the cupbearer to the gods, which I thought was cool. So it's essentially just like to keep their glasses of wine full, but that just feels like, I mean, obviously very like water bearer, but like this kind of like plentiful, keep everything flowing and moving, keep them fed and pleased and whatever. Does feel a bit Aquarius.
That feels also like, I have a character example in a few minutes that I think also kind of goes with this idea of like, I think Aquariuses are really good at like seeing everything that's going on, in the same way that like Sagittarius is very big picture.
Yeah, totally.
Aquarius can really like see all the dynamics happening within the community, if you will. But that feels very like,
totally like whose water glass is empty at the table kind of thing.
But you would also like in that role hear a lot of gossip.
Totally.
You would be able to like observe the dinner table and be like, oh, like this person is mad at this person, but this person doesn't even know. But like
totally.
I always giggle at myself, something like that I think is so Aquarius of me is, if our listeners don't know, I'm vegan, and like when I'm scrolling on Instagram, I will not like a photo with me in it.
No, I totally agree. I'm vegetarian.
And you have a ton of Aquarius placements.
And I have a ton of Aquarius placements. I literally, you guys, when I got the Sweet Green email that they announced steak, I gagged and I got nauseous for like a day. Every time I see a billboard with the steak and that salad, I don't know what about it is so off-putting, but you'd think as I've been vegetarian for so fucking long, it would get like, I don't know why it's getting harder. Oh my God, it literally makes me feel sick, like genuinely sick. That fucking steak Sweet Green sign. I so support you.
Well, and I like just really believe that like a restaurant is gonna like notice that, like a restaurant that I follow, they're gonna notice that like all their vegan options like perform so much better on socials. Like that's where it comes from me. I'm like, no, I'm making a massive difference.
I love that.
By showing the algorithm that we do not support the consumption of meat.
Yeah, I so agree with you. I think something you touched on a bit, but like worth saying, is Aquarius is like very technological advances, especially like something good to think about with transits, even if you aren't an Aquarius, like when Pluto's about to go back into Aquarius for like a really long time, but like technology, the internet, all of that kind of stuff, forward thinking, futuristic-y feeling things, very much live in this realm. That's why we say it, I feel like, just like casually, is like Aquarius is always thinking ahead, but it is truly like very future oriented, like creating like what is the next version of this world kind of thing.
Yeah, I just, first of all, am like so tech literate. Like I find like most apps, computer programs, like very easy to use. Like I'm not someone that like has to like read the instructions really, or like I was keeping my cards close to my chest for a long time, but I recently revealed at work that I like could really easily navigate like Google Meet or something. Totally. I have now decided to help my elders, like when they're like, why isn't the sound on? I'm like, upper right corner, click this button, down to the like third option, the like pull out window to the left, like choose that. Like I just very naturally know how to do that stuff. And I also am like always 3 steps ahead.
Yeah, totally. It's hard being ahead.
It's hard being ahead, babes. But I always am like, I've thought of every way something could go wrong. I'm like very much thinking about what will happen. I just like love to look at my calendar. I would love a stat. Maybe you can do this on your phone. Like I would love to see how many hours a week I spend on my calendar app.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Like I feel like it's like a social media for me. Like I love color coding everything. And I just like love to be able to like look at my whole I'm a very much like I plan my whole week. Like
no, totally.
And I love to just like look at it.
That's so funny, because lately I've been talking to my mom about this a lot. Like I keep thinking it's the next month, because I've been like I mean I am also a planner, but I've been doing this lately where like literally like August, I thought it was like September halfway through. Like I like laughed at like someone in a meeting because they said like 8 whatever, and I was like, haha, like babe, it's September. Like, no, it's literally wasn't. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing, but like I feel like I just get so caught up and like or like excited even for stuff that's coming up, or knowing I have plans. I'm like, I'm there. Like, I'm already there. To me, October.
Like, well, I think there is maybe something to that, of like having something to look forward to is really motivating for an Aquarius.
Yeah, I do think so. Also, I think it's Sag too, though, for sure.
The big picture, we're like thinking long term,
an end.
But I think there also is like a tendency to like not be present, though,
for sure,
as well. Finding a balance.
And then too, I was thinking about like, as we're like coming to the close of this, I think like something for air signs that I was thinking about, and like this is not like end all be all, but I think like when you think about like Gemini, it's very much like thinking about you. It's thinking about the things around you, like all very close. Libra, it's all about relationships, thinking and conceptually. It's all about you and like your interpersonal connections. And then Aquarius is just like, it's all about the humanity, the world,
thinking about everyone,
the universe. Yeah.
And I'm thinking about everyone, you know?
Yeah.
I'm very much like, I love to like psychoanalyze other people. Like I'm very like, I really can just see what's going on. And like, I very much understand like all the dynamics.
Yeah, totally.
Happening. And I'm very like aware and understanding.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
Should we go through some celebrity examples?
Yeah.
I've pulled so many, but I think it is like Aquariuses are just so unique that it was like I have fewer like categories of like, oh, these are all the same person, which I felt like I could do for like a lot of other signs. But Aquarius is I mean, like, I love to be like a special little snowflake. Like, there's no one like me, never will be anyone like me. But I do feel like that in the celebrities, like there's people from just
different genres. Harry Styles. I do think he's a good depiction of like an Aquarius man. I mean, obviously he's like an artist, super creative. But I think it's like, I don't know, there's like, I think there's a lot of like, is he queer baiting? Is he whatever? And it's like, maybe he just doesn't like subscribe to your ideas of what a man should dress like, or, you know, whatever, you know, I don't know, you know, I'm a directioner. I'm going to stand by my man. But I do think he just like has like just so charming. He is just like probably a little bit ahead of his time, honestly. I think even like his like pleasing his brand, like I know he doesn't like probably creative direct it, but even their aesthetics feel like,
I don't even know what that is.
It's like the nail polish.
Oh,
but it's very tracks. Like it's very like blobby. It's like cool. Like I feel like it feels like it's very like groovy, quirky, but in like a modern way.
Yeah, which is like his whole thing.
Yeah, it's like it's all very there.
Yeah, I guess we also haven't talked about like the age of Aquarius, like very much like I feel like 60s kind of 70s are totally. Like associated with Aquarius. Even though
I don't think that's like actually a thing astrologically.
No, I would say
it's like an aura, an essence, a vibe,
an idea of like this communal, progressive time period. But like I would probably argue that we're like about to enter like with Pluto in Aquarius, like that feels like actual like age of Aquarius, in which Pluto is like our furthest planet from the sun, very much rules like biggest picture vibes, like massive cultural shifts over like the next 20 years, like are gonna be so much more Aquarian. On a super weird transition, different note, The Weeknd is also in Aquarius, which I've like never really been that interested in him as a person existing, but I know like billions of people are really interested in that. I don't really know anything about him,
I don't either. I kind of got icked out when he did that show.
The Idol?
Yeah. I just like heard really bad stuff about him.
Yeah. I feel like I had the ick even before then. Yeah. But I think that's maybe just because there's some overlap with him and your ex-boyfriend in my head.
Oh, that's funny. That makes sense.
I think they're just like a little bit like the same.
Too close.
I'm like, oh, like he would act like that.
I know
you. Yeah, like I think in my head he would just act
funny.
like that.
That's how I feel with him and Drake.
So I mean, yeah. Some other like girly bops that I think are all really having a moment right now. Meg the Stallion, Tyla, Tinashe, and Paris Hilton are all Aquariuses. And I feel like those are all like very 2024 girls.
Yeah, I like love Meg the Stallion, obviously, but I do just think like her, or I don't know, I'm saying but, like, and I feel like I always say but as if I'm about to contradict myself, and I'm not.
Yeah.
And she like, I feel like her little like tapping into her more like nerdy, like anime girl, like I like just love that for her. I think it feels so purely her, and now that she has probably like an established enough voice and audience, like she's allowed to be a little more like weird girl, which I just think is like, I think that's just good for everyone. I love that era of hers. But I also think like, I don't know, there was kind of like a weird like, I feel like when she got shot, like there was such like a disdain for her like within like the music community, and like
that was
which
stupid.
Was crazy. But like that like outsiderness, you know what I mean? Like for her to be like the victim and then become the outsider, like just the way people treated her, I feel like also feels like a little Aquarius. But obviously she like, I mean, she never backed down, and there were obviously people on the other side, but I always was just like very shocked by how she was treated.
Yeah, no, that was weird.
Yeah. And I'm not even commenting on this scenario at all. I think just the reaction of people does have that kind of like otherness.
Yeah.
You know, that yikes, but yeah.
Her queerness almost feels a little bit similar to like Harry Styles, in which people are always trying to be like, are you gay? Are you gay? And she's like, literally don't worry about it.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
I'm just gonna exist, like that's none of your business type of thing. It feels very like progressive in a way of like this evolved queerness of like literally don't worry, like everybody's a little bit gay kind of mentality.
And then I'd also like to talk about Paris.
Great.
I obviously love Paris Hilton, and I think she's a very smart person. I think she has like very smartly built a brand that, talk about ahead of her time, I think unfortunately was way too ahead of her time for the era of the early 2000s, and I think people didn't appreciate like what she was doing.
Yeah, like she was like massive though, but I think people didn't know it was like on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, she was massive, but she was also like very disliked. Like people were quite mean to her in a way that she's so liked now, and it's just so funny that like she's like now like, oh my god, icon mother, yes, and she's like, yeah girl, I've been doing this for 20 years. You know what I mean? But I do think she's very smart. I mean, if you know her story, like she went to like labor camp, and I think like the funny thing about Simple Life is like them pretending she didn't know how to do anything. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like people like she went to labor camp, like she could probably like work at a restaurant. So like, you know what I mean? Like I just think it's like funny, like that was such a, I think it's like you know, it was all a lot more thoughtful, and it's a lot more, you know, conceptual and silly than people thought. And I think literally 20 years later, people are like, oh, haha, like you were in on that. Yeah. And respect her for it now. But yeah.
On a different vibe, Ed Sheeran and Guy Fieri.
Stop. Spiky hair kings.
I found out today that Guy Fieri and I have the same birthday.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Hilarious.
I loved his show.
Silly, goofy guys.
Love Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I would watch that so much.
Yeah. No, it's a good one.
And famously loved Ed Sheeran. I've probably seen him in concert like 8 times, you guys. I actually told my boyfriend that recently. He was like, that's so fucking embarrassing. And I was like, first of all, you don't understand. If you were a directioner, he was next of kin, to the boys. It was the vibe of the time. We loved the British boys back in the day.
Yeah. And he's genuinely an incredible songwriter.
Yeah, he is. It's just like he's so like weird and funny.
Like now he is. Like
but
I don't know.
He's really
before
talented. Yeah. It was a thing, you guys. It was
in
the vibe of the time.
In like the boho chic era in which we came up in, he really fit that. He was like he really had something that One Direction didn't have, which was like
talent.
Like a talent.
Yeah.
Other than just like singing and being hot.
Yeah.
And adorable, but like no, and he's very clever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everybody can write white boy raps like that, you know?
That's so true. It's hard to do.
I think there's also on the One Direction side of that, there are so many hot Aquarius boys. Something for everyone, I think. Here's my category. Michael B. And from all time periods. Michael B. Jordan. Also Michael Jordan. Taylor Lautner. Jeremy Allen White. Avon Jogia, who's the Victorious dude.
I don't know him.
Oh, you do if you saw it. You would know. You're gonna love him, first of all. And as soon as you see his face, you're gonna know it.
Oh, he's super hot.
He's really hot. And I watched a movie he directed a couple months ago, and I loved it. Loved it. It was called something about a mouse. Dormouse? I might have made that up, but I think it's something like that. If y'all need a good movie rec, very like indie film, animation elements. It was quirky and like also really thought-provoking. Paul Mescal, Ashton Kutcher, and James Dean.
Wow.
Doesn't that feel kind of like an it boy from every decade?
That Hillary Duff song, James Dean, Mr. James Dean or something, wasn't it?
I don't know if I know that one.
Oh my God, it was my favorite.
But yeah, I mean, and I guess here's what I'm landing on. It is like there's like a very friendly rebellion to all of these people. You really like them, but that you are kind of like, oh wait, a little bit of bad boy, but like one that your parents would still like.
Totally. Jennifer Aniston, I don't have much to say about her, but like famously a friend.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Well, I think I almost brought her up earlier when you were talking about like our coworker. Like there is like a category of people where, I mean, I think they're just kind of like respectfully basic.
Yeah.
That are Aquariuses. I also have like Emma Roberts as a falls into that category for me too. Yeah, like super
she's like
likable.
A little like quirky, weird, but in like a very like easy to swallow way.
Yeah.
She's got her doll wall. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like she is like a little weird girl, but like like not super forward facing, I guess.
And I guess like Jennifer Aniston honestly is like she is cast as like the relatable woman.
Yeah, girl next door.
For obviously like a very specific category of people in the world, but like the category that Hollywood is very much catering to.
Yeah.
But like yes,
she's every
girl
woman.
Next. She is like super relatable, super real, like which does have like an essence, which does have like an essence of quirk to it inherently. Like no one is out here being like, no, I'm so normal. There's nothing unique about me. It doesn't always have to be like you're like the literal like weirdo outcast that Aquarius usually gets stereotyped for. I think a really good example of an artist is Takashi Mukarami, who does all of the flowers, the like rainbow flowers, like that, like energetically, like those flowers feel so Aquarius to me.
Yeah.
Oprah.
Oh yeah. You get a car. You get a car. Everybody gets a treat. There's something for everyone.
Yes, that's so true. I love that. And definitely like a trailblazer of her field and like so likable. Abraham Lincoln. I've been seeing headlines that maybe was gay.
Really?
Yeah, there's a documentary or something. It was like, it's called like The Secret Life of an American Teenager. Of an American president. No, that I don't know what it's called. But there's like new.
Is that new show?
Findings.
Is that Mary Todd or that one Broadway show? Is that his wife?
Yeah, Mary Todd Lincoln. That sounds like a right lady.
That's the right person.
I didn't know there was a show about her.
I think this is it. Yeah. Oh, Mary. It's the Cola Scola. It's supposed to be very, very funny. But yeah, it is. I guess it is like leading up to Lincoln's assassination.
But also a standout, at least like legacy wise, has been
like known for making major change.
Yeah. Which of course, like we could debate if that's what he actually believed in another time. But yes, he is like his credited, name is
associated with that.
On a more actual level, Rosa Parks is also standing by what she believes in. Judy Blume is just a nice example. Yoko Ono, also someone that's very like so her own person. She is a unique little lady. Absolutely. if you don't keep up with what she's up to. And then a few well, okay, I can't just not leave out the one people. I said Michael Jordan, but also Caitlin Clark is an Aquarius. She's one of the WNBA it girls. And then just a few Aquariuses that we do not claim: Ellen, Justin Timberlake, and Chris Brown. Not focused on the good of their communities, are they?
No, really not.
Shall we go on to some fictional characters we think are Aquariuses?
Sorry. Just yawning. Yeah. Should I go first?
Sure.
Okay. So Phil from Phil of the Future.
Okay.
It was like my favorite show growing up. That was such a good Disney Channel show. I fucking loved that show, but obviously he's like a cute boy, super friendly. He's from the future. He gets stuck in 2003, which just made me feel old as hell.
Yeah.
But he's a really smart boy, but he comes off like a little aloof and a little like kind of ditzy, unaware, just because he's literally like, he's so from the future, you guys. He has no idea how to like use a textbook or like a calculator, you know what I mean? So like he comes off a little dumb sometimes, and like because he doesn't like know how to use things or know what's happening. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of a common thing for Aquariuses, even from this time zone.
Love it. I never really watched that show.
Oh my god, it was a good one. It's like Ali Mashaka is like his best friend.
Okay.
Maybe AJ, one of those girls. And it's just like a really funny, and like the principal's like obsessed. The principal, I think, thinks they're aliens and like snoops around their house, like so Disney Channel coded, like so over the top, like trying to figure out who these people are, and like there's a caveman in it. It's just like, it is a really good one. It's probably on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got to be somewhere.
In my head, he's really cute as well.
He was pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In very like just Disney boy, like older brother kind of way. Someone else's. Okay, my first one is Omar from The Wire. Did you ever watch that? Okay, there's this character named Omar, and he's not affiliated with a gang. He is like one of the only characters that he is like a lonesome, like he operates on his own. He like will not join a team, and instead he like is a thief. Like he just, instead of like selling drugs or whatever, he just like steals shit from other people. I don't know if he also sells drugs, but primarily he is like, instead of joining them, he's beating them like on his own. He's gay. I think he's the only gay character in that show, like a gay man like in this greater community, so very much like walking to the beat of his own drum, but like also people like they don't mess with that, like it's very much like he's so proud of who he is, even though that's not necessarily like chill for anyone else
Yeah.
to be what he is. He has a thing where he whistles the farmer in the dell, which I just think is so goofy.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of scary when he does it though. Like
yeah, I could see it feeling ominous.
Yes, it's very ominous, but it also it is just like goofy.
But it's the farmer in the dell. Yeah.
And yeah, there's like a part where he does end up like snitching to the police on like some of the gang members. I think I haven't watched the show in a lot of years, so I'm like a little iffy on all the details if we have any like major Wire fans listening, but he does like end up snitching to the police, which is obviously like not a chill thing to do, but it's because like one of the gang members like killed his lover. His whole thing is he's so upset because like his lover is like not involved in this world at all and gets killed like because of like what bro is tied up in, and he has this whole thing like he would never hurt like a civilian.
Totally.
He's like, I would never pull a gun on someone that is not directly involved in this like drug circle, for lack of a better term. And he like says that to the detective, and the detective literally goes, a man must have a code. And I was like, that is literally so like all of what we've been talking about, living how he thinks the world should operate, and
absolutely.
Like will not go against his own like morals in that way.
Jess from New Girl, just like peak quirky girl. So awkward but lovable. I feel like she was, really an inspiration to us all in that era. We were listening to Ed Sheeran. We were watching New Girl. But she just is like the weird girl. She stands up for what she believes in. I do think she's pretty like, I haven't watched this show in a while, but I do remember her being like more, probably a little progressive, more outspoken, like has her like rules and things she feels. And she's a teacher too, and she was always like, I feel like trying to inspire the kids, like cared about her kids a lot in her class kind of thing. But yeah, I loved that show. I want to rewatch that show. I haven't watched it literally since it was like on.
Yeah, same. I've never like watched it all the way through. It's just one of those things that like I've seen a lot of episodes.
My parents and I like watched it as it was on like all the way through. So cute.
Yeah, it is. Okay, dividing Jess into two different characters. I have Amelie.
Oh, yeah.
Who is like so like next level quirky girl. Very silly. She is like a bit of a loner, like just goes off and does these things, and also like so confidently does her thing, like does things her way. It's just like a little bit weird, and you're like, oh, I would never do that with like that person. And I think like what I was saying earlier, she really is like can see what's going on, and I think that's the difference between we'll talk about this next week, I'm sure, but the difference between like an Aquarius manic pixie dream girl and a Pisces manic pixie dream girl is like an Aquarius is like connected to the other people around her, and she can really like has that like superpower of like can see like the man and like a random woman and be like they should be together, and like can kind of like meddle in that way. And then on some teacher energy, Miss Frizzle
totally
is adventurous, like does things her way, like is so like just quirky, like the themed outfits, and like being able to like really engage the kids in like a full way.
Love. My last one is Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
Cute.
She's just like a wacky little girl. She's a bit mischievous, but she's all about Ohana. Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind, but it's all like chosen family. Like she's looking for the little aliens to make a part of her and her sister's family.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Oh my God. I loved Lilo and Stitch, but it's just so sweet. It's like community oriented. She doesn't really fit in with other kids her age. She's kind of like just like weird girl vibes. But she has Stitch, and then of course they like collect all the other experiments and like try to like turn them into good people, good little alien citizens. But yeah. I loved Lilo and Stitch.
I used to have a Lilo and Stitch like DVD game that I loved. I can't really remember like what I remember there were like some like I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember some of the like challenges in the game where you had to like do like a scavenger hunt in your house.
Oh my god, cute.
If anyone else had that game. Love it. Oh, this is also funny because I like literally yesterday was saying, or maybe 2 days ago, was saying how I would love to just have like a weird little puffball that followed me around, and we were like joking. We were like, no, literally, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, I would love to have a puffle from Club Penguin. Yeah, I was like, that would be so fun. And all my coworkers are like, oh my god, I could so see you with that. Just like a weird little creature that's my sidekick. Yeah.
I love that.
I would love that. And then we were like, someone was like, well, just get like a fluffy dog. And I was like, but no, like a Pomeranian, like me with a Pomeranian doesn't work in the same way that me with a puffle does work. And my last character is Suzanne from Orange is the New Black. Very quirky girl, is just like really existing however she wants to, unapologetically, and is very like protective of the people she loves as well.
Yeah, totally. Should we hear from the listeners?
I think so.
Okay, amazing. Aquarius sun, Pisces moon, Scorpio rising. With a Sag stellium, we met on the solar eclipse at the thrift store and went home together immediately. We then proceeded to go on a 3-day date and began seriously dating one another after about 10 days. He's the type of guy who walks up to literally everyone and starts talking to them. People either love it or immediately try to fight him. He's obsessed with either of those outcomes. He does music production and is actually so good at it, so I wasn't embarrassed to have a SoundCloud boyfriend. In the first month we were dating, he got arrested for shoplifting, proposed to me with a $3 ring from a wig store, cheated on me, got beat up, crashed his motorcycle, went to the hospital 3 times, broke up with me and took it back 45 minutes later, stole my car, showed up at his ex-girlfriend's house uninvited, and moved in with me. Like, let me take a deep breath.
Girl.
I'm sure you're wondering, why did I put up with this? My only answer is he was so hot. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Looks like a model, tall, strong, talented. Things started getting worse between us after moving in together, and during a big manifestation transit in June, I asked the universe to get me out of this situation if it's not right for me. During that crazy Pluto transit we had in July, he robbed our neighbor's house, got arrested, and is now facing a minimum of 15 years in prison. Thank you, universe.
Wow.
What a tale.
Yeah. Definitely the rebellion.
I was just going to say, it's very rebellious. It seems like very, like, knows how to manipulate with his charm a little bit too. Well, not a little bit, a lot. Wow, that was so intense.
I think like what we're really seeing though is that like when Aquariuses are not thinking about like the good of other people, like they get in trouble.
Yeah, it's a little reckless.
Like the whole like Justin Timberlake DUI thing, or like that feels very similar like to this. Whereas like I don't know, like a D or DWI, whatever he got, or like a lot of those things, like honestly I feel like a lot of people do and like never get in trouble for. But like Aquariuses get caught.
Yeah, pushing the boundaries too much. Another one, I love Aquarius because they are so similar to Leos in my opinion. They know that they're that bitch because of their uniqueness and non-traditional approach. It's just unlike Leo, they don't express it in the same ways. But put a Leo and Aquarius in the same room and really see which one has a bigger ego. Sister signs are more similar than we think. Yeah, agree. Totally. Love Aquariuses, even though they kind of come off a little off-putting and detached. But what's air sign isn't like that? Entering into the age of Aquarius, I really see a healed version. As a humanitarian, most of my planets are in the 11th house, so I really value community being important, and connection is what truly heals.
Yeah. I guess we are. And we are using the word humanitarian.
Totally. I feel like I was thinking about it when you said that too. I'm like, I feel like it's like, yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what that really means, but like humanness. Yes. Like we talk about like at work, like working in like marketing, advertising, like a human approach. Yeah. Like I feel like it's like just putting like people first is like a way, just like
that's what it literally means.
Just like thinking about it that way, I feel like feels more like normal.
Yeah, but I think
like
it also is like
to like what is that? Yeah, grounded in. Or like, what is the approach? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like a 12th of all humans are not humanitarians in the like traditional, like you are leaving everything behind to like go help some community in need that you're not a part of.
Yeah, like exactly.
What I think of. And I think that sometimes feels like a lot of pressure that I'm like, oh, I'm in Aquarius, I'm supposed to be that. But humans first feels very aligned to me.
Yeah. Have you ever dated an Aquarius?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys. I'm cracking up. Well,
No, I did the same thing internally about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I mean, we could talk forever about it. And so
you really haven't talked about it at all.
Yeah, because I've been threatened.
I know. So boring.
I essentially signed an NDA. Stop. Like, yeah, definitely a quirky person. I love, like, I always say like my type, my Mars is an Aquarius. I always say like my type is when I can go, I have never met anyone like you before. Like, totally. I love that. I have a friend that always jokes that I like just love to collect freaks. If I meet someone and I'm like, literally, what are you? Like, I've never seen this before. I eat it up. I'm like, tell me more. Like, I really think of people as just like characters.
Yeah, totally.
And I like to collect them for my plot.
Yeah, they were quite a character.
Yeah, all that to say. Very much a character. Dating someone like your own sun sign is like so like, oh, you get me. In one way.
Where do you think their like insecurity came from?
It's a good question.
Maybe just like them like not feeling super like sure of who they were.
For sure. Yeah, you know and I mean? think that's
I'm trying to think it like just like not being
from
rude
an
to
Aquarius
them, just
way.
like in an Aquarius way.
Yeah, I think Aquariuses really need to, and I remember we talked about this at our like the class we did at Soho Friends. Like I can't remember exactly what someone asked, but we landed on being like Aquariuses really need to like proudly embody their unique selves. And when they're not, I think they could get like a bit insecure. Like trying hard to fit in is like so exhausting. So I think like a combo of that, and also like they like did not have community at all. And as soon as I started to find community,
they hated that.
And they also just had like a bit of like a codependent tendency, which is like also very not Aquarius.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely like just not knowing who they were. And like I've experienced with many people, like I do know who I am. Granted, I've learned so much more about who I am since that relationship ended for me. But yeah, I think there was a bit of like, I was starting to like really blossom while they were not.
Yeah, like it was a little like, oh, I could be like weird and quirky or edgy too kind of vibe. And it's like, no, you're like already weird. You're just weird in a different way, and like be fine with that.
Yeah, like be proud of however like you're weird. Like my definition of cool is when people are like so passionate and confidently into like whatever they're into. And it could be literally anything. It could be rocks. I have a friend, if you listen to our Aquarius or our Sagittarius episode, I have a friend who like studies linguistics and DJs, and like I think she is the coolest person ever, because I'm like,
that is cool.
No, exactly. But like being like so into something, whatever it is, like I think is so cool. But to the Aquariuses listening, definitely like what makes you different is like what makes you shine, and like what makes you
don't have to fight for it either.
It's like Aquarius energy is very about, I think you touched on this earlier, like the community is strongest when each of us are the most ourselves, not when each of us are just trying to like morph into like
one
another and like blend in to the community as much as you can. That is not like what connects us. What connects us is like being a humanitarian. Like we're all humans. Like we are all going through like, we're all here. We all have that in common. We don't need anything else in common to like understand each other. You know?
No, totally.
Have you dated an Aquarius?
I like don't think I have.
I feel like you haven't either.
I like went on like a half date with a guy, but like it was just like very bestie vibes. He also was like a year or two younger than me, and I was just like, you're like so cute, but you're like so small.
Yeah, fair. He was really nice though. He's a
really nice boy.
Like the last like couple times I've seen him, and like recently, he's like said hi to me. Which I always just
he's like super really sweet. Like remembers all my friends.
Yeah.
Like very friendly, knows a lot of people, I feel like. But like was just like definitely one of those things where I was like, oh, this is like so not romantic.
Yeah.
Which I feel like really is very rare for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm remembering I dated another Aquarius boy in college. He was really cute.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
He was so cute and so nice. Didn't speak a lot of English. And then I ghosted him. Last time I saw him, he drove me to the train station. I don't even remember where I was going. He drove me to the train station at like 5:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And was like, don't forget about me.
Oh, he said, I'm like, never talking to you again.
I got overwhelmed. That's when I was dating like a bunch of different people at once. And then I was like, I don't like any of you.
Yeah, no, that's so fair.
I need to focus. But yeah, love an Aquarius.
Yeah.
I guess one of my other besties is an Aquarius as well.
Yeah.
And we are like a funny little duo. Definitely have like a unique energy around us. Like we're very much like, we walk into a space together and everyone's like, who are they? Like we both are just little individuals.
Should we call one up?
I think so. I'm excited. We have a great Aquarius. I just like love it. You can't get me to not love an Aquarius. I'm gonna be like, well, they are just that.
I know.
But let's call them up.
Yay.
Hello to our Aquarius caller.
Hello.
Thanks for coming to Astro Sluts.
I'm so excited.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the listeners?
Sure. My name is Imani. I am an Aquarius. February 15th is my birthday. I'm not going to say the year, but You know what? I am going to say the year, February 15th, 1988, because 88 was a good year. Okay. And
Love.
yeah, I'm super excited. I'm ready for all these questions. I'm nervous a little bit, but I'm ready.
No need. All you have to do is be yourself.
Okay, cool. I can do that.
Amazing. Do you know your big three or your big six? Okay, cool.
Don't know the six. I do know my time and birthdays and plays. If y'all have a quick little, I know the girls love a Google. So if you guys want to look,
the girls do love a Google.
Yes, I was born February 15th, 1988 in Hinsdale, Illinois. Don't tell anybody I wasn't born in Chicago, but outside of Chicago. My big three, at like 6 a.m., maybe like 6:02 a.m. I can't remember exactly. Like I would know. But Aquarius, Capricorn.
Okay.
A lot of energy there.
Capricorn rising or moon?
Rising.
Okay, yeah. That's so interesting.
I'm pulling up your chart because
is that right?
We can. I think so. Oh, hold on, I'm clicking the wrong things.
Actually, fact check me because I couldn't. I do know. Well, I mean, I think it's Aquarius.
The magic of Zoom.
How's
this?
Wow. Okay.
So Capricorn moon, but Aquarius rising.
Oh, okay, I flipped it. Okay, cool.
Okay, beautiful.
That's fun. So you're a little bit super aqua.
Yeah, I am heavy. I'm heavy on the aqua.
What do you know about being an Aquarius, and do you identify with those things?
I do identify with being the type of Aquarius that I think that I am. I can be emotionally detached at times. I'm not, let's not say I'm not, but you know how they say like Aquarius have these like crazy ideas, big thinkers. I do think that way, but I'm not thinking about aliens necessarily. So I do think big, I do think grand, but on Earth, not like unattainable.
You're not a conspiracy theorist.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy a good like kiki about things. I don't know. Let's see what else. I don't know if this is an Aquarius trait, but I find myself getting along with a lot of signs. I know what signs I tend to not agree the most with, but overall I can just manage them all. I kind of laugh at people who are a little wonky. What else? I think those are the main things about me that I agree with in terms of Aquarius, I think. But tell me more. I would love more about my sign, honestly.
Okay, one thing I want to talk about with you is Aquarius is really known for like it rules the 11th house, which is like community, like your network, like friendship.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your relationship to those things?
Yeah, I think the only way, Issa Rae said something that I really love, which everybody quotes now, but it's like you got to reach out and not up necessarily. So I enjoy relying on my community, being around community. I do like to be alone. That is another, I think, Aquarian trait. I can thrive by myself. Don't get me wrong. Room, I'm good. But I do, I do have a large community and friends that I, rely on as well. But leave me alone, please.
Yeah, no, that's so real. I'm also an Aquarius. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So I feel you. I've been really like the last year or so, been really like focused on building my community. And it feels so good, but I always just really admire that you seem like so connected.
I think it's really my mom and my family. They're all my mom is not necessarily an extrovert, but they're all like community people. So I kind of just grandfathered into that situation. I didn't really ask to be here necessarily, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful because I was the only child. I am a child. So having community allows me to just really be involved in other things. But because I am an only child and an Aquarius, leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
I will go home immediately. No questions asked.
Totally.
But yes, yeah, community is a great thing when it holds you up in a great way. Sometimes community.
Yeah, you also have a ton of planets in your 12th house, which is also giving like, leave me alone. Like, I want to be in like this, like a dark room and nobody know anything about what I'm doing.
I didn't know that, but I feel that very heavy. And I agree. It allows me to think and like big problem solve. I like to problem solve. Not alone necessarily. I do enjoy input, but then I like to retreat and then just kind of figure it out. So yeah, I resonate with that very much.
Yeah, I feel like too, like just from knowing you and from being a friend, I feel like you are very open, like share things, but you are also very private.
Yeah.
Like I think you very much like in a healthy way, like know what's for you and what's like for other people to know, kind of thing.
Yeah, I do want to get better though, because I am very closed off. Even my high school friends, they're like, I don't know. Right now, they're really into astrology, and it's just out of the blue. But I'm okay, girls, whatever. Like, Imani, really don't tell us anything. We need to hear more. You need to hear more. And I'm like, but you guys are talking. So like, I don't really feel like, or if I don't have anything to say, it's a lot like, why don't you have anything to say? You could say more. You could. And it's like, I just really don't have anything to say. I'm so sorry that I don't have a whole long, a whole long summary of things to tell you. But I agree with that. I am trying to be more expressive in my feelings and emotions. I haven't really got that far yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Oh, I feel
That's
that.
great.
I love that. Well, since we were just talking about friends, do you want to talk a little bit about friends and their signs, people who you typically connect with?
Yeah, I love a Leo. I have
Mm-hmm.
tons of Leo friends, and I love a Sag.
Yeah.
I have tons of Sagittarian friends. Sagittarian, is that the right way to do that? They're endless, actually. Both every year, it's like Jesus. There's another one. But yeah, Leos and Sagittarius I get along well with. My mom is a Pisces. I would consider my mom my best friend. So yeah. Do I get along with other Pisces? I don't really know, but my mom I can get along with. Pisces are cool. I just know I kind of know what to expect and kind of move around it. Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
That's so totally real. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, Leos and Sagittarius are my bread and butter. Indigo, my daughter, is a Sag. Love her. She is a Sag. She is a Sag. I don't know what else to say about that girl, but she's definitely a Sag. And we are super compatible, but she also gets on my nerves. But that's how I feel about most Sagittarius. I love them to death, but come on, guys. But best friends, my best friends are Sagittarius. So clearly I love it. I'm still around. I get along with other Aquarius. I have a few really strong Aquarius relationships, actually. So I would say those are my top. Leo, Sag, Aquarius, and then my mom. She stands alone, kind of, but yeah, that's my top. And I feel like that makes sense. I love a Leo. Man, I love what they stand for. I love how bold they are. I've never had a problem. I shouldn't say that. That's a lie. One of my exes is but we don't. I still love him to death. He's still like, I don't talk to him all the time, but he's still somebody important to me. So can't really go. Yeah.
Yeah, Leo is opposite Aquarius, so it's very much like two sides of the same coin. But since you're an Aquarius rising, Leo is also your seventh house, which is like one-on-one relationships, like partnerships. So it makes a lot of sense that that would feel good.
That makes sense, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing I want to ask you about, I'm like Aquarius to Aquarius, is like something that I like is like really difficult for me is someone else being similar to me.
Yes. So I'm currently in a relationship with another Aquarius.
Mm.
It's tricky. It is very tricky because both of us, we're a lot different, but we're also very much the same. So like both of us really like retract into ourselves. We're not the most like we're not the loudest person in the room necessarily. But we also both attract a lot of community. We both are involved in a lot of different things. So like, but sometimes like the relationship aspect though is like, are we friends? What's happening right now? Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I am figuring that out actually currently, trying to figure out how to navigate being in a relationship with another Aquarius because we've been dating for not my whole life, but for a very long time. But it's still like a daily like what's happening? What's happening? One of my best friends is an Aquarius, but I feel like January and February Aquarius are a lot different. She's a January Aquarius and I love her to death. I could not live without her. Like she's like, but we're not necessarily alike though. I feel like we share a lot of similarities, but like I hold on to things and she throws things away, or like I'm late to figure things out and she's the first one to know what's going on. You know, like it's very like night and day. But I appreciate that because she's also an Aquarius and she gets it. Like you also get. But yeah, I feel you on that. Too similar is a little scary sometimes.
Yeah, I like really want to be a special little snowflake. Never been done before.
Yeah, okay, that's big energy. I'm with that. I don't feel that way, but I also feel why you feel that way.
Yeah, you've just worked through that already, maybe, and I'm a little bit stuck on it.
Maybe I think in let me tell you a time I did feel like that in college. So I graduated. I was valedictorian of my class, but it was just a small private school on the west side. I thought I was hot shit, right? I get to college. I get to a top college. Everybody in that college is hot shit, and I'm it. And I was like, yo, what's wrong with y'all? Why y'all not like, why are you not falling at my feet? Why am I not getting straight A's? Why are these teachers so ridiculous? Like, what's wrong with y'all? I am a top student for my school. But then I learned very quickly that girl, get over yourself. You're not the only top out here. You just gotta figure out your own way. So I have resonated with that. I have been there before, but then I got chopped down real quick.
Yeah, real.
I think that's funny about like talking about dating an Aquarius. I have an Aquarius Venus, and I have always been like, just like, oh, we're like friends to people I've been dating, and they're like we're not friends. Or like I'll say to like my boyfriend now, I'll be like I just like love our friendship. Like I love our relationship and I love our friendship. And he's like, oh my God, dude, like don't say that. Like we're not friends. Like, but I'm like, there's just like I don't know. I totally understand you on that. There's just like I don't know if it's an appreciation for that kind of like friendship relationship. So that it almost just like, you don't, yeah. But I feel you.
And that is so, I've never said it like that before. So I never thought about it like that, but that is so true. Like when I first started dating, we grew up in the same community. So I considered the brother, before like where we are now. But it's like I still sometimes see him as a brother, which is so weird to say out loud. But I feel similar. Even this guy I used to date in college, he, like, the way we moved about our relationship, we never made it official. We were just dating. And he thought we were dating like heavy. And I was like, oh, we were? Crazy. I did not know. Was I there? Like, we hung out, sure. I really liked him. I was really interested in him, but it was like, I didn't know it was so serious. We were just figuring it out. Yeah, no,
I totally feel that.
Well, because Aquarius is like an intellectual connection with other people, which is friendship.
Yeah, that's 100% fair. That's fair. I agree. Yeah, I never thought about that before. That's crazy. I'm dating my friends. I'm into it.
Yeah, exactly.
All, like, for the last year or something, I keep saying, I'm not dating anybody I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that 100%. That's why I feel like I've been with him so long, because I know him, and we started off in a friendship, moved into it. It makes sense. It makes logical sense to me that we're in a relationship. So yeah, I definitely feel that.
Okay, so you said you've also dated like a Leo, Aquarius.
My longest relationships were Aquarius. Obviously, I've been with forever. Before that, it was a Leo. Honestly, I didn't signs. I wasn't really paying attention to signs. Like, I don't think I realized he was a Leo until not recently, but within the past like 5 or 6 years, maybe. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I enjoyed our relationship. We're still really good friends. So, and I enjoyed, while we were dating, I really enjoyed our relationship together. I think we just were on different pages. We were like different kinds of people in terms of like what we were doing in our lives, and it just didn't fit in that way. But as far as like compatibility, personality wise, it was great. Like, he was a great guy. The guy that I was talking about from college, what is he? Cancer.
I was gonna guess that when you said it. I was like, that man is a Cancer. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, definitely a Cancer. And it's me thinking about it like I didn't know what he was. I definitely know he's a Cancer. I still, I enjoyed our dating. We're still good friends. Cancer. That's one of those things where it was like, we never, were official or anything, but it was like, what would that have looked like if we were? I've always wondered, because it's like, I don't know. I don't know how long that would have gone. Cancers are,
Yeah, they're different than us. They're different than us on this call. Yeah.
I'm like, Cancers are, but I try my best not to judge based off of knowing you're a Cancer. But it's a little scary. Scary. But because I was so interested in him, I would have just tried it out just to see what the vibes were. Who else? I can't remember. I think my high school boyfriend was a Leo. I can't even remember his birthday. That's horrible. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then there are others, whatever, sprinkled in between. They weren't nothing else was serious. But yeah, I guess, Leo's clearly gravitating towards Leo. Aquarius. I don't know.
That's so funny. Like, everyone we've had as a guest on the pod has been like Leos. They're gonna love this.
That's crazy. Okay, let me find somebody. I'm just joking. Let me figure out another sign. There was one guy that, like, a while ago, and he was a did it go out? I think he was a Gemini. That would have been a little scary too. But aren't like Aquarius and Gemini, like, aren't they like something on the same, not on the same page, but understand each other kind of, maybe? No?
Yeah.
You
want to go, Danny?
Oh yeah, they're both air signs. So yeah, Geminis get a terrible rap, but I think if you're an air sign, you would understand them like a lot better in a romantic, like relational sense than like other signs. Because they are just pretty heady, pretty like intellectual, very charming, witty. But yeah, I think we've been talking about this a lot. I just think like a lot of other signs don't necessarily understand the Gemini headspace, but I think as an Aquarius, you would be like probably a little more familiar with where they're at.
Yeah, I feel
pretty fast moving. Yeah.
Yeah, I have some friends that are Geminis who other people don't really care for, but I'm like, what's wrong?
They're kind of fun.
They're fine. I mean, yeah. I'm like, they're fine. I don't know. I mean, I understand why you're upset, but also just chill. It's okay. They're cool.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that relationship was weird. It was like, that was another one who was like, oh yeah, we were dating heavy. And I was like, oh, we were? News to me. I knew we were, but I also thought it was like, we were just dating, you know, like.
Yeah.
But yeah. He was cool though. He was an artist, very like all over the place, but also really knew what he wanted, which was very attractive. And then like, what else? He was just like really driven, and I was like into that. I was like, oh, okay, artist who's driven, like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, fun. Is that all of our questions?
I think so.
Anything else you want to say on being an aqua?
I love Aquarius. I love it from the depths of my soul. I love telling what he doesn't know about being an Aquarius, like being such an Aquarius right now, please. I love that. And he's like, don't even worry about it. Just know you are. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of fun. I feel like I'm able to be free in myself, which I enjoy a lot. And I don't think I could be any other sign. I think this is what I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
Love it. I agree.
Well, thank you so much for coming on Astro Sluts.
This was so much fun.
Thank you.
We love you. Well, thank you for listening to our Aquarius episode. We are going to wrap it up with Pisces next week.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
And then that'll be it.
I'm like, is it like January by now? Like,
no,
what?
It's almost
like
Thanksgiving.
November. Wow.
Yeah, but it's been
a journey.
It's been a journey. 12-week season.
12-week season.
Ambitious of us.
Very.
But here we are.
We did it.
All right. Bye, sluts.
Bye.